Hey, what's good, purple people? It's that guy Purps here with another video. Now this one is going to be a review. I've listened to this song so many times. Got the album on vinyl, and yeah, it goes hard. Um, but yeah, in Australia, it is January 26th today. It is Australia Day, um, and I just thought it appropriate to give A.B.Original a spin. Even their name, A.B.Original, is a play on words. They are of First Nations culture, so Aboriginal. Um, so yeah, that sort of sets up, if you know anything about Australian history and I suppose history in the world in general, about the treatment of black people in countries that have been colonised. This is A.B.Original's take on that. There is a lot of division in Australia in regarding Australia Day. Some people like to refer to it as Invasion Day because that's when, like, we celebrate the day that the country was settled and colonised by the Europeans, and there were many massacres of Aboriginal and First Nations people that followed. Um, I personally don't think that we need to change the date or change the name. I just think that we need to show respect to everyone that is Australian on Australia Day. Covering up the past and trying to sugarcoat it or whatever, and not taking onus and ownership of the past, is, in my eyes, wrong. We need to acknowledge the past, learn from the past, and move together forward in a way that's united. We can air the grievances that are brought up. Um, but yeah, Australia Day is for celebrating everything that is Australia. But I believe at the moment we don't, because we're trying to, well, not we, but government, etc., is trying to sugarcoat the past. There's been claims that slavery never occurred here, etc., etc. So we need to acknowledge what has been done, the pain that has been caused, and find a way forward to help try and heal the wounds. The scars will remain, but we need to heal the wounds and stop, recutting them open every year. Um, I support the Black Lives Matter movement. Um, I support these guys. I believe that the fundamental saying that of the Black Lives Movement is, until Black Lives Matter, then all lives can't matter. So once we get, it's a step by step process. Um, once once all lives matter, then Black lives will matter too. But until Black lives matter, all lives can't. That's my take on it. Um, so yeah, this is A.B.Original with January 26.
You can call it what you want, but it just don't mean a thing. No, it just don't mean a thing.
Fuck that, homie.
You can come and wave your flag, but it don't mean a thing to me. No, it just don't mean a thing.
Fuck that, homie.
You can call it what you want, but it just don't mean a thing. No, it just don't mean a thing.
Now keep in mind, guys, this song's 4 years old. Um, a lot has, a lot of discussion has happened since then. Um, this was sort of about the time 2016, 2017 is when the calls for changing the date first come out. Um, Australia Day hasn't always been on the 26th of January. It has been on other dates. So I guess it is sort of a valid argument that we could have it on another date. Some have suggested May 8, like mate, because, in Australia we have lots of mates. But yeah, I think the tradition has been set for long enough now that we can keep it. But yeah, just introducing the guys there. Briggs, he started rapping solo, then they come together with Trials, who was the other guy in here. Trials used to be part of Funk Wars. He also does producing. I think Briggs also does a little bit of producing, but Briggs is the TV show Disenchantment. He was one of the writers that helped write for that. He's also written a few children's books. He's a published author. The guy's very talented and very underrated. I will be featuring some more Briggs on the channel. And yeah, in terms of A.B.Original, they've only released the one album. I think it was just they came together to release this album. It is heavily political, and in favour of a certain viewpoint, which is fine. Like, we all need to put across both sides and then find a way to meet in the middle. But this song is very political. You can see already in the video clip, you know, you've got your typical, you know, bogan Australian, or he's not even really that bogan, but your typical sort of, I suppose, patriotic Australian. You know, Australia Day, you've got to have a barbecue, you've got to get dressed up in your flag, everything you wear has to have the flag on it, you wear the flag as a cape, that type of thing. This also occurred after the Cronulla riots. We had a big racially charged riot on a beach, and yeah, it all stems from that. So if we can move past the racism, which, you know, for 200 years we haven't been able to, but if we can find a way to come together and move forward, not demolish the past, but recognize the past for what the past was, acknowledge that it happened, write it into the history books, because you'll find that history is written by the winners. The losers, or the people that were taken over, very rarely have their story told. So yeah, let's get back into it. They're about to start spitting. So.
Fuck that, homie.
You can come and wave your flag.
Oh, Dan Sultan. He's another First Nations artist. He plays a lot of guitar and is more singing than he is hip hop. It's good to see him on the track though.
It don't mean a thing to me.
Here he is, draped in his flag, and he got the snags.
Fuck that, homie.
They said, hey, Briggs, pick a date. Okay. You know what? We can celebrate. For sure. But we can come together, talk about the weather, call that Australia Day. I said, how about March 8th? That's a good one. And we can do it on your nan's grave. That bitch. We can piss on the face, get rid up and burn out like Mark Scaife.
Mark Scaife is a V8 supercar driver here in Australia. But yeah, like when he was talking about, you know, we can turn up on March 8th and have a party on your nan's grave. That's going into the argument and what they put forward, that of the Invasion Day side of things is a lot of people lost relatives. They might not have known them, but that's part of their family that was wiped out. And then we all, you know, just come together and have parties. It is a public holiday, and there are a lot of parties that happen. Triple J used to hold the Hottest 100 countdown on Australia Day. It was a good day that, you know, everyone had the day off work, so you know, get on the beers or whatever. But yeah, out of respect, when all this was occurring, they shifted theirs to so they just had it on the weekend just gone. So it's always like the weekend before or the weekend after Australia Day. Yeah, so Briggs is going to be touching on a lot of political issues, and yeah, but so far, like, you'll notice, like, it has a very heavy sort of American West Coast type feel to the beat and everything, and a lot of Briggs's music is like that. But yeah, let's get back into it.
The screaming love or the leave it, I got more reason to be a riff, you can believe it. Once salute the Constitution, or who's underneath it, turn that flag to a noose, put a cease to your So fuck that. Fuck that.
You can call it.
And that there sort of sums up a lot of the black struggle. You know, like anyone else can call out and be like, oh, hey, I don't think that's fair. But if you have pigment to your skin, it doesn't seem to be taken as a valid argument, which is one thing that needs to change. You know, everyone needs to be treated with equality. It shouldn't matter the color of your skin, or you know, who you're attracted to, or what education you have, how much money you have. You know, the base of it all, we're all humans. You know, common saying, like in the army, doesn't matter if you're a medic, doesn't matter if you're a bomb expert, whatever, you're always a soldier first. So, you know, we're all born human, and that's something that we all have in common. You know, whether you take up religion, whether you believe in that the world's flat or whatever, that's all after. You know, that's all after the fact that we're a human. So if we can all start to see each other as human beings, and again have that empathy, many of the struggles that you've gone through and the feelings that you've had, other people are going to have felt that and been through that as well. So we're all human, we all have emotions, and yeah, they're calling out that they feel that they're treated differently, which in a lot of cases they are.
What you want, but it just don't mean a thing. No, it just don't mean a thing.
Fuck that, homie.
You can come and
The other thing with the First Nation and Aboriginals people is, you know, the longest surviving culture in the world. You know, 65,000 years plus of history and culture. When the Europeans come and colonised, we brought in alcohol, refined sugar, drugs, all that sort of thing, where they'd never had that. So the irony of that scene with the Aboriginal doctor handing over a diabetes pamphlet to the white man, it's generally the other way around. Diabetes is fairly prevalent in Aboriginal people. For some reason, they're still expected to live less. Average lifespans are less. There's numerous things the Australian government are trying to do to bridge the gap and bring everyone up. But yeah, for decades they've been trying, and still they're not hitting any of the targets. So there's more everyone can do. You know, just treat people how you want to be treated. I know that, you know, is a term in the Bible, and I'm not religious at all, but it's a true saying. Like, if you treat people how you want to be treated, then everyone should be treated well, because no one wants to be treated poorly. So don't treat anyone poorly.
wave your flag. It don't mean a thing to me. No, it just don't mean a thing.
I said celebrate the heretic anytime outside Jan 26. That's the date for them suckers doing that sucker shit. That's that land taking, flag waving attitude. Got this new Captain Cook dance to show you how to move. How you wanna raise a flag with a rifle that make us wanna celebrate anything but survival? Nah, you watching telly for the Bachelor?
And then, yeah, they've sort of flipped the script again. So, you know, a lot of the times a black man just walking down an alleyway, oh, you're being suspicious. How? Like, because I'm black, you know? And yeah, so they've flipped it here where, you know, just the white guy, he's literally just walked out of the doctor's office. Here's a diabetes pamphlet. You're probably going to die 15 to 20 years before all your mates. And now he's just getting randomly stopped. It's not. It's funny here just due to the irony. It's not funny when it's flipped and people are just getting, people of color are just getting stopped for no reason. You know, being of color isn't suspicious. If you know, keep looking around the corner and you got to look out and whatever, then that's a little bit suspicious. But that's anyone can do that. you shouldn't be harassed just for being who you are.
But wouldn't read a book about a fuckload of massacres. I remember all the blood on my corridors. They remember 20 recipes for lamingtons. Yeah, their ancestors got a boat ride. Both mine saw them coming until they both died. Fuck celebrating days made of misery. Why Oz still got the black history? And that shirt'll get you banned from the parliament. If you ain't having the conversation, well then we starting it.
You can call it what you want, but it just
That's the other good thing with art. Yeah, you might not agree with the argument they're putting forward, but if it starts discussion, it's done its job, you know? So...
just don't mean a thing. No, it just don't mean a thing.
Fuck that, homie.
You can try to wave your flag, but it don't mean a thing to me. No, it
Well,
just
brings it
don't
to
mean
me.
a thing. No, it just don't mean a thing.
I just don't mean a thing.
No, it just don't mean a thing.
I just don't mean a thing.
No, it just don't mean a thing.
I just don't mean a thing.
No, it just don't mean a thing.
Nah, just don't mean a
No,
motherfucking
it just don't mean a thing.
wave it, wave it.
So, and then when he was looking in the mirror, that's the reflection, the whole flip side. You know, it wasn't a white guy. It was a young Aboriginal Australian, you know, looking in the mirror like, what did I do? You know, and yeah, I do love this song. I'm not going to lie.
Baby, wave it, eat the flag. Wave it,
Mace.
wave it, mama. Wave that flaggy. Wear the flag. Wave it, baby. What you gonna do? Wave it, baby. Wave it, mama. Wave that flaggy.
For those that don't know, that was a Holden that they were sitting in. R.I.P. Holden. Holden's got shut down. It was Australian car manufacturing since the 1940s, and there's no manufacturing in Australia anymore. But yeah, that was A.B.Original with Jan 26. Happy Australia Day out there to all the Australians. Yeah, let's hope that, you know, we can start to bridge that gap. You know, only through coming together, talking about it, bringing up issues that people have and discussing it in a mature mind, a mature manner, not letting emotions need to be in it to an extent, but not letting your emotion override the conversation to the point where people just shut you down because they just think you're a raving lunatic. I think what Briggs Trials and Dan Sultan did here, and what Briggs and Trials did with this album, was really bring the discussion into the narrative when people are starting to, you know, think about Australia Day. Again, like I said, I don't believe that the date should be changed, but we need to change the meaning of it. It shouldn't just be a celebration of the colonisation and the start of the country that it is now. It needs to be a reflection on everything the country is and was, you know, and for 65,000 years it was in the custodial hands of the First Nations people. You know, we can't deny that. So we have to acknowledge that fact. We have to acknowledge that the Europeans, when they colonised, and any place that, like Spain have been all around the world, massacred heaps of people, and then colonised those countries, and a lot of the native tribes and everything get wiped out. That it's a brutal thing that happens, and now that all the world has been founded and colonised, I guess, and everyone's set up their countries, there shouldn't be any need for that anymore. So we should acknowledge that it happened, because we are who we are today from everything that's happened before, and we can only get better by coming together, coming together, in unity, and move forward as one country. Whereas at the moment it's still really divided. So yeah, again, I don't want to end on a sour note like that. So happy Australia Day to all the Aussies that may be watching this. And that's me with another one. I'm signing out.